The film opens with real archival footage of World War II, establishing the brutality and global scale of the conflict. Explosions tear through battlefields. Soldiers fall. Chaos reigns. The tone is clear. This is not just a war story, and it is a story about survival, conviction, and faith in the middle of unimaginable violence. Scene 1. A violent childhood lesson. Young Desmond Doss grows up in Lynchburg, Virginia. He and his older brother Hal have a typical sibling rivalry, but one day their fight turns dangerous. In a burst of anger, Desmond strikes Hal in the head with a brick. Hal collapses unconscious. The moment freezes Desmond. He believes he may have killed his own brother. Hal survives, but the shock deeply scars Desmond. Around the same time, we see his father, Tom Doss, a traumatized World War I veteran, drowning his pain in alcohol and rage. The house is filled with tension. Violence is always close. Desmond later stares at a poster of the 10 Commandments. His eyes fix on one line, "Thou shalt not kill." That commandment becomes the foundation of his life. Scene 2. A calling to heal, not harm. One day, a man is severely injured in an accident. Desmond calmly treats his wounds before the ambulance arrives. At the hospital, he meets Nurse Dorothy Shuda. He is shy but sincere. He asks her directly how he can impress her. She jokingly says, "Get yourself injured." Their relationship develops naturally. Desmond reveals his strong faith as a Seventh-day Adventist. He believes in keeping the Sabbath and in nonviolence. Dorothy respects his conviction, even if she does not fully understand it at first. As World War II intensifies, news of Pearl Harbor spreads. Desmond feels he must serve his country, but not by killing. He wants to save lives as a medic. He tells Dorothy he plans to enlist. She is afraid, but she supports him. Scene 3. Enlisting without a weapon. Desmond enlists in the U.S. Army and is assigned to the 77th Infantry Division under Sergeant Howell and Captain Glover. From the very beginning, he stands apart. When issued a rifle, Desmond refuses to touch it. He explains calmly that he cannot carry or use a weapon because of his faith. The other soldiers mock him. They call him a coward. They assume he is trying to avoid combat. But Desmond makes one thing clear. He is willing to go into battle. He just will not kill. Training becomes brutal, physically and psychologically. Sergeant Howell sees him as insubordinate. The other soldiers begin to despise him because they believe he will put them at risk in combat. They beat him one night in the barracks. Desmond refuses to identify his attackers. He endures humiliation, extra punishments, and constant harassment. Still, he does not bend. Scene 4. The court-martial attempt. The Army tries to discharge him under Section 8 for mental instability. Desmond refuses. He insists he is not crazy. He simply believes in the commandment against killing. His refusal to handle a rifle leads to a court-martial. He is jailed for disobeying a direct order. Before the hearing, Dorothy and Desmond's father visit Captain Glover. Tom Doss, though broken by his own war trauma, he presents a letter from a general stating that Desmond's religious beliefs are protected under the Constitution. At the court hearing, the charges are dropped. Desmond is allowed to serve as a combat medic without carrying a weapon. His fellow soldiers still doubt him, but now they must fight beside him. Scene 5. Arrival at Okinawa. The division is deployed to Okinawa, Japan. The objective, capture the Maida escarpment, later nicknamed Hacksaw Ridge. It is a steep cliff face defended heavily by Japanese forces. The soldiers climb cargo nets up the cliff under enemy fire. The battlefield is hellish. Bodies scatter the ground. Limbs are missing. Explosions shake the earth. Desmond moves through the chaos unarmed, carrying only medical supplies. He saves wounded men under intense gunfire, dragging them to safety. The Americans eventually secure the top of the ridge for the night. Scene 6. The counterattack. At dawn, the Japanese launch a massive counterattack. Waves of soldiers charge through smoke and gunfire. It becomes one of the most brutal sequences in the film. American lines collapse. Soldiers retreat toward the cliff edge. Desmond refuses to run. As the surviving soldiers descend the cargo nets, Desmond stays behind alone on the ridge. Scene 7. Please, Lord, help me get one more. The battlefield is silent except for moans of the wounded. Desmond begins moving from body to body, searching for survivors. He lowers injured soldiers down the cliff using a rope system he improvises. Each time he saves one, he prays, "Please, Lord, help me get one more." He repeats this over and over. He rescues approximately 75 men that night, though Desmond himself modestly estimated the number lower. He saves men who once beat him. He saves officers. He saves those who doubted him most. By morning, the soldiers at the base of the ridge realize one man has been sending them, survivor after survivor. Scene 8, a changed perspective. The once hostile soldiers now look at Desmond with awe. When ordered to launch another assault, the men refuse to climb without him. It is Saturday, the Sabbath. Desmond will not fight on that day, but he agrees to pray first. The entire unit waits for him. When he finishes praying, he picks up his medical kit. The men follow him. This time they climb with confidence. Scene 9, the final assault. The second major assault is intense but more coordinated. A wounded Japanese soldier detonates explosives, injuring Desmond. He is finally hit by a grenade. Even wounded, he refuses the stretcher at first, giving it to another soldier. Eventually, he is evacuated. Shortly after, American forces secure Hacksaw Ridge. The film ends with real archival footage and interviews with the real Desmond Doss. He speaks humbly about his actions, insisting he was simply doing his duty. Final reflection. Hacksaw Ridge is not the story of a man who fought with a weapon. It is the story of a man who fought without one. In a war defined by killing, Desmond Doss chose to save. He entered the bloodiest battlefield of the Pacific Theater armed only with faith, courage, and compassion, and proved that conviction can be stronger than violence.